Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been a few weeks, and now that Holy Week is over and I've gotten back to a normal schedule, I thought it would be a good time to share a sort of renewal story that I've been experiencing over the past year. Today I'm sharing something very personal. It's not just about food, but about faith, sacrifice, and what I've learned through my journey with the carnivore diet. Yeah, you heard that right, the carnivore diet. And before you jump to conclusions, let me tell you how this experiment has profoundly impacted my spiritual life. I've been on the carnivore diet for about a year and a half now. If you're unfamiliar with it, it's a diet that consists entirely of animal products, mostly meat, fish, and animal fats, with no plant-based foods involved. I went into it to see how my body would respond, but I didn't expect the deep changes it would bring in my mind and in my spirit. Initially, I thought the diet was just about health and nutrition. I wanted to test if it could help with things like energy levels, focus, gut health, all that stuff. But what I didn't anticipate was how it would challenge me spiritually. One of the first lessons I learned was sacrifice. Going from a traditional diet to eating only animal products felt like an extreme choice at first. I couldn't just grab a piece of fruit when I was hungry or stop by a coffee shop for a quick snack. Every meal had to be intentional. But it wasn't just about food. It made me think about the deeper meaning of sacrifice in my faith. In many religious traditions, sacrifice plays a central role. Whether it's the sacrifice of material comforts, desires, or even relationships, it's a process that calls us to give up something for a greater good. On the carnivore diet, I gave up so many of the foods that I enjoy: sweets, bread, even vegetables. And with each sacrifice, I felt a deeper sense of discipline, almost like a spiritual fast. I realized that sacrifice isn't just about the food, it's about offering something you love and finding meaning in the act of letting it go. Just as in faith, when we sacrifice, we're reminded of our dependence on something greater than ourselves. In my case, that greater thing is God. One of the most interesting parts of this journey was the way it made me reflect on my faith. The discipline of sticking to the carnivore diet became a sort of spiritual practice. It was a reminder that in faith we often need discipline to keep us aligned with our values and beliefs. In many religious traditions, fasting is a practice that deepens your faith. For me, following the strict diet was almost like a form of fasting. It wasn't easy. There were times when I really wanted to cheat, and sometimes I did, maybe have a piece of bread or a sweet treat. But every time I resisted that temptation, I felt a sense of victory. And that victory wasn't just physical, it was spiritual. It taught me that faith isn't about comfort. This is a very important point. It's about trust, discipline, and the willingness to sacrifice the temporary for something eternal. I began to see the carnivore diet not as a restriction, but as a tool to build resilience, in the same way our faith is a tool that can build spiritual strength and trust in God. Another thing the carnivore diet taught me was the beauty of simplicity. When you strip away everything except meat, eggs, and animal fat, meals become much simpler. There's no overthinking, and in that simplicity, I found a profound sense of gratitude. Instead of focusing on what I couldn't have, I began to focus on what I did have: the food in front of me, my health, the strength to stay disciplined. And in doing so, I was reminded of how often we overlook the simple blessings in our lives. Faith, too, is often found in simplicity. In moments of prayer or reflection, we don't need complicated rituals or words. Sometimes it's just about showing up with a humble heart and being thankful for what we've been given. As I stuck with the diet, I noticed changes in my physical health: more energy, improved mental clarity. That one I was actually very surprised with. And overall, a better sense of well-being. But I also realized that physical health and spiritual health are deeply connected. Caring for our bodies through diet, exercise, and rest is a form of honoring the gift that we've been given by God. In my faith, I believe that our bodies are temples, and that taking care of them is a way of honoring God. The more I respected my body through my diet, the more I felt aligned with my faith. It became a reminder that spiritual health requires care for our physical selves. At the end of the day, this experience taught me that faith is about more than just belief. It's about living in a way that reflects our values. It's about sacrifice, discipline, simplicity, and gratitude. The carnivore diet was an unexpected journey, but it gave me a chance to reflect on these principles in a very personal way. So, what's the takeaway? I think we all have moments in our lives that challenge us and that push us to grow. And sometimes those moments come in the form of a difficult choice, maybe like what to eat or what to give up or what to focus on. The carnivore diet was one of those challenges for me, and it helped me grow in my faith in ways that I never expected. If you're interested in exploring how food and faith intersect, I encourage you to reflect on what you eat and how it might relate to your spiritual journey. It's not about perfection, it's about intention and growth. If you've tried the carnivore diet or something similar, I'd love to hear about your experiences too. So please drop a comment below and let's start a conversation. I want to thank you all so much for watching. And if you liked this video, I am hoping that you will like it, subscribe it, and hit the bell for more content on faith, health, and lifestyle. And I'll see you in the next video.